said legends are born once in a generation. But this one, he redefined the word. Before he ever laced up in the NBA, Michael Jordan was already crafting a myth. Not just a basketball player, but a movement, a force that shattered gravity and defied logic. The world didn't see it coming, but once they did, they couldn't look away. Every time he rose for a jump shot, time stood still. Every time he flew, millions held their breath. Jordan didn't just play the game, he made it theater, war, poetry. And before long, the world knew they were witnessing something that wouldn't happen again. Back in Wilmington, North Carolina, Jordan wasn't the prodigy people now imagine. In fact, he was once cut from his high school team. Rejection could have ended the dream, but for Jordan, it lit a fire no one could extinguish. While others slept, he worked. When others doubted, he believed. He trained in the shadows, waiting for his moment. That failure didn't break him. It built him. It gave birth to an obsession, and soon the boy who was told no would become the man the world said yes to, over and over again. By the time he reached the University of North Carolina, Jordan was already showing flashes of brilliance. But even then, he wasn't content with being good. He wanted to be great. The 1982 NCAA championship, it wasn't just a game. It was the arrival of a storm. A freshman with ice in his veins taking the final shot like he'd been born for it. He drained it. The crowd erupted. A legend was born in real time, and the world didn't even know the full extent of what had just begun. Then came 1984, the year everything changed. Drafted third overall by the Chicago Bulls, many questioned if Jordan could survive in the NBA's physical jungle. But Jordan didn't come to survive. He came to dominate. From day one, he attacked the league with the hunger of a lion. Explosive drives, impossible dunks, mid-air improvisation. It wasn't basketball, it was magic. His rookie year wasn't a warm-up, it was a warning. The NBA had a new king in the making, and this king didn't ask for the throne, he took it. But greatness isn't built on highlight reels alone. Jordan knew that. He faced brutal defenses, relentless pressure, and teammates who didn't always match his fire. Yet he didn't flinch. He led by example, pouring his soul into every practice, every quarter, every second. The Bulls weren't contenders when he joined them. But Jordan, he was a walking revolution. Slowly, he turned a broken franchise into a battleground, into a dynasty in the making, and he made sure no one forgot who was responsible for the transformation. Then came the Detroit Pistons, the bad boys. They were the brick wall Jordan kept running into. They knocked him down, bloodied him, humiliated him. For years, they denied him the crown. But instead of retreating, Jordan evolved. He didn't just lift weights, he lifted expectations. He didn't just train his body, he trained his mind. The beatings from Detroit didn't break him. They refined him. And when the time came, he didn't just beat the Pistons. He buried them. No handshakes, no mercy. Just revenge served cold. The Jordan way. 1991 was the moment the universe finally bowed to Michael. He crushed Magic Johnson and the Lakers in the finals. And in that moment, arms raised, eyes misted, Jordan wasn't just a champion, he was a symbol. All the pain, the grind, the obsession, it had led to this. But Jordan wasn't satisfied with one ring. He was chasing immortality. One title wasn't the goal. The goal was to leave no doubt. He didn't just want to be the best, he wanted to be untouchable. And he was. For 3 straight years, Jordan and the Bulls terrorized the NBA. Triple peats are mythical in any sport, but Jordan made them real. Every finals, every clutch shot, every dagger 3, it felt inevitable. He turned pressure into poetry, adversity into opportunity. He didn't play the game, he rewrote it. The Air Jordan brand soared. Kids wanted his shoes, fans wanted his swagger, and rivals wanted a miracle. He was more than an athlete, he was a phenomenon. But in 1993, the unthinkable happened. His father, his best friend, his anchor, was murdered. The loss shattered Jordan. The joy he once felt on the court evaporated. And with a heavy heart, he walked away from the game he had conquered. People thought it was over. They couldn't fathom a world where Michael Jordan wasn't lacing up. But Jordan wasn't done. He was grieving, reflecting. And even in his silence, the myth only grew stronger. Because deep down, everyone knew, heroes always return. When Jordan announced his comeback in 1995, the world watched in disbelief. 2 words, "I'm back," sent shockwaves across the planet. He wasn't the same Jordan. He was older, rustier, but even at 80%, he was better than most. The comeback wasn't smooth. The Bulls fell in the playoffs. Critics whispered that the magic was gone, but Jordan heard it all, and he smiled. Because he knew something the world didn't. The storm was just gathering strength again. The 1995-96 season wasn't just a comeback, it was a coronation. Jordan, reborn with vengeance in his veins, led the Bulls to a historic 72-win season. No one could stop them. Not the Knicks, not the Pacers, not even the Seattle Supersonics in the finals. Jordan was back at full power, but there was a difference now. His game was wiser, sharper, more surgical. He didn't rely on pure athleticism anymore. He mastered the psychological game. He dissected opponents, read their moves before they made them. He was a predator cloaked in grace, and his message to the world was clear. You can't kill greatness, it always returns. But Jordan wasn't done. He wanted all again. In 97 and 98, the Bulls repeated history. 2 more titles, 2 more finals MVPs, and a legacy now written in stone. And in between those titles came the legendary flu game. Sick, dehydrated, barely able to walk, Jordan still dropped 38 points. It wasn't human. It wasn't logical. But it was Jordan. A man who didn't bend to limits, a warrior whose willpower eclipsed his pain. That night in Utah, he wasn't just playing for a win, he was cementing myth. Because pain fades, but legends live forever. And then, just like that, it ended. 1998, Game 6. Final seconds ticking down. Jordan with the ball, 1 crossover, 1 perfect release, and swish. The shot heard round the world. No scriptwriter could have crafted a better ending. 6 championships, 6 finals MVPs, no Game 7s, no defeats on the biggest stage. Jordan didn't just win, he closed chapters with authority. That shot against the Jazz wasn't just a basket, it was a signature, a seal of dominance. And as he walked off the court with that iconic pose, the world knew this was how a king leaves his kingdom. But legends never rest for long. In 2001, Jordan returned again, this time in a Wizards jersey. It wasn't for more rings, it was for love. Love for the game, love for mentoring, love for pushing limits even when there was nothing left to prove. And even in his late 30s, he dropped 40-point games, packed arenas, and showed flashes of that old brilliance. He wasn't chasing ghosts. He was reminding everyone that he still had magic left. Jordan didn't need that final run for his legacy, but maybe we needed it to witness once more what greatness looks like in motion. Beyond the hardwood, Jordan became something more. A brand, a billionaire, a symbol of excellence. The Jordan logo isn't just stitched on shoes, it's tattooed on pop culture. From the streets of Chicago to the courts of Manila, kids still dream in Jumpman. He inspired generations, not just to play, but to obsess, to sacrifice, to chase the impossible. Kobe studied him. LeBron reveres him. Athletes across all sports cite his hunger, his killer instinct, his refusal to lose. Because Jordan didn't just dominate a game, he redefined how greatness is measured. But the truth is, Michael Jordan wasn't just chasing titles. He was chasing immortality. He wasn't playing for the applause. He was battling his own limits. Every practice, every playoff run, every shot was a war against the voice that said, "You're done." And that's why he's revered. Not just for the wins, but for the fire, for the obsession, for the pain he turned into purpose. He made every second count. He never cheated the game, and the game rewarded him with eternal glory. Ask anyone who saw him play, they'll tell you it wasn't just basketball. It was a feeling, an energy, a sense that when Jordan stepped on the court, anything was possible. He brought hope to cities, fear to rivals, and joy to fans. He made time stop, and whether it was the final shot, the silent glare, or the roar after a dunk. He connected with something primal in all of us. Jordan was more than a player. He was a mirror, showing us what happens when talent meets obsession. And that's why, decades later, the debate never ends. Is he the GOAT? Is he untouchable? People can argue stats, trophies, eras, but what they can't debate is impact. Jordan didn't just set the bar, he became the bar. He's the ghost every superstar is chasing, the measure by which all greatness is judged. And the truth is, whether you watched him live or only know his story through highlights, one thing remains. You never forget the first time you saw Michael Jordan fly. In the end, Jordan's story isn't just about basketball, it's about belief, about a kid who was told he wasn't good enough and who answered with a legacy no one can surpass. He taught us that failure is fuel, that greatness is earned, and that champions aren't born, they're built. And while the jersey may be retired, the legend is far from over. Because somewhere right now, a kid is picking up a ball, dreaming bigger because Michael Jordan once showed him how. And that's the real legacy, one that never fades, one that never dies.